What is going on, everybody? Chase Crawford here with another episode of According to the Internet, this time joined by the one and only Jesse Lee Brown. Jesse, what's going on, man?
What up, my brother Chase? Thanks for having me down here to Cincinnati. I love it.
All the way down from Dayton today, yeah?
Yeah, I made that 45-minute drive down south,
Hey.
75.
Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Jesse. I'm a male. I was born at Kettering Hospital, November 13th, 1985. Some say it was a glorious day. Some beg to differ. But no, man, I'm studied improv for a long time. I guess I'm a comedian by trade, but the road doesn't stop there. There's a lot of other things that I love about life and doing. I've usually got a camera in my hand, that or a beer,
Or both.
or both. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, man. No, I just taking it a day at a time here, trying to make sure I don't leave any stone unturned on this journey. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. And for those of you that don't know, Jesse was actually in my movie, Alan in the Fullness of Time.
Yeah. Security guard number one.
Yeah.
In on the field and in your heart.
And honestly, probably one of my favorite performances in that entire film. Because you made that character your own. You walked in and you were like, yeah, I'm going to do a Brooklyn accent today. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And you did it. And the director looked at me. He's like, did you tell this guy to do this? And I was like, no, this is Jesse.
Hey, listen, always ready.
So, let's just hop right into it. According to the internet, Aretha Franklin passed away. And I know just sadness spread throughout the community.
Yeah, man. I woke up to the news and there had been, there had been talk around the internet that, she was in real bad health and that all of her friends and family, were kind of asked to come and spend a little time with her. But it's never it's never fun to get that news. I mean, to me, she was the voice, for female singers across the board. You've got some other names that are up there, but I think that she was by far and away the most unbelievable voice that we've seen. I think, since we've been alive. And like I said, there are a lot of unbelievable female performers and talents. I just think that she was just above the rest. And that sound, you don't get it, that soul, that heart, that they don't make them like that any longer. So it was almost the last of a final breed there or the last of a breed that left us. So rest in peace, Queen.
Totally agree. And if you look at the time that she came up in, right? 10 times harder to be
oh my gosh,
a black female
absolutely
vocalist. And for her to just be able to break through that and still be, the greatest.
There's an unbelievable documentary on Netflix. It's called Muscle Shoals. It's about a studio in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, where during that period, that was kind of like Motown South, if you will. A lot of that talent was going down there to record. And the funny thing is that a lot of those hits, those R&B and those soul hits that came out were done at Muscle Shoals, but by an all-white house band, which blew people away. Like when they found that out, it's just like, these boys are getting it, man. These boys are getting it.
And, just going down her crazy list of achievements, 112 charted singles on Billboard, 77 Hot 100 entries, 17 top 10 pop singles, 100 R&B entries, 20 number one R&B singles. Just
think about the volume of work you actually have to do. Like, those are just the ones that were good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, imagine how many songs she had to sit down and write to get to that,
I'd say thousands, right?
Well,
it's either thousands or it's she was so incredible that it was just she knew she would get so far into one and be like, yeah, this is the one.
Yep.
Where she would get so far into another and it'd be like, eh.
Well, as an artist, that's kind of what you want. Repetition is king. Just flexing your muscles and constantly challenging and pushing yourself. You hit a stride sometimes where you're like, yo, I can't do anything wrong right now. And other people are feeling it, you're feeling it. But to do that on the level that she did with the consistency that she did, and it's just like I said,
Yeah.
she was the queen.
18 Grammys, 75 million records sold. That is just.
She stopped going. She stopped after a certain point. She stopped touring in Europe because she got spooked. Something happened, some sort of plane accident or something. But she stopped. I mean, almost in the height of her career, stopped traveling overseas. So imagine what,
Yeah.
I don't know how much bigger her legacy could be, but if that's even imaginable, she could have done, maybe accomplished one or two more hits. I don't know.
One or two.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about though. I think that there's just a lot that I don't necessarily understand about the old days of music. And I say old days, but it was like literally like 40 or 50 years ago.
Right.
Whereas like now I feel like we're so bogged down with SoundCloud artists and like literally anyone can make music to where when something special like that happens, I just kind of think like, man, what if 40, 50 years ago, like everyone had the capabilities to make music? Would she have broken through? Would she have, because now the market's split so many different directions. I don't know.
Well, any Jim or, Stephanie can get a computer and upload some sort of sample pack, put some garbage lyrics over it, and put some garbage visuals to it, put a couple face tattoos on, and like sell. I mean, just it's ridiculous. And I don't want to disrespect, any other artist because it takes a lot to do this. I mean, just in general to be vulnerable and put yourself out there for other people it takes a lot to do it. But I think that what do I want to say? It's a dime a dozen now.
Totally.
Those rappers, those talents are a dime a dozen now. And like you were talking, Aretha 40, 50 years ago, you had to seek this stuff out. Like you had to be good or they wouldn't even look at you. You didn't have internet that you could just upload with a press of a button and 1 million people can hear your stuff. Like, you had to go and record with real live instruments and write songs down on paper with a pen. What's a pen? Whoa. Who uses pens anymore? It's like 2018.
What's paper?
Yeah,
man.
Whoa, we got to sit down and actually put work in. Like I said, I don't want to disrespect any artist out there because, like I said, it's difficult, man. It's not always pretty. You see this stuff and, like, oh, man, Post Malone's living life. Like, yeah, he is, but he doesn't know how to shower. And that's a problem with these kids these days. Is they forget to shower.
I love that your beef is with the showering.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not going to pay $50, whatever, to smell a guy on stage. Like,
Yeah, that's
I heard, did you hear that story about him?
No. Did he reek or something or what happened?
Apparently there was like a meet and greet and a fan paid X amount of money to go, meet and greet. And she got up next to him and she threw up because of how bad he smelled. Yeah, like vomit. Yeah.
XOXO tour life.
Yeah, all my friends are smelly. I don't know.
Do you think that that's just a combination of him like smoking and drinking and not caring about him? Or
he is, dude. I'm pretty sure Bud Light is on par. And by 2030, he's going to just be a can of Bud Light.
Every time I saw some video where he said that he drinks like 20 cans of beer a day. I mean, that can't. He smokes like 2 packs of cigarettes and drinks 20 beers. That can't be healthy.
Oh well, duh. I mean, listen, moderation, folks. It's what it's all about. But I don't know if these kids are like, I see a lot of them. They're just like depressed. They hate life. Like they live all of this extravagant stuff. They get to travel. They get to see these things and perform in these unbelievable cities, and fans adore them, man. But you just look on their face, and it's just like.
They don't look happy.
No, man. They're all zanned out or like, just drunk and like it's going to catch up with them, And that's what I'm saying. Like that limelight there, it's not pretty all the time. Like, and this kid is 40 years old and he's an unreal talent, but is he going to be able to preserve himself or does he even care? It's like, this is like, dude, I'm whipping through this and I'm going to make as much money as I can and have as much fun as I can. Until it's done, until I can't go any longer, And he's not thinking longevity. And maybe I'm wrong, but it just, if I can do the eye test and I can watch him and watch how he moves in, social media and stuff, it's just like, This guy's he's like at 11 all the time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so touching on the drug thing, have you seen pictures of Lil Wayne recently? He's like 35, dude, and looks like he's pushing 50.
35 pounds?
No, 35 years old.
Oh.
And
Yeah, man, Wayne's been, dude, that syrup got to him, bro.
Oh, dude, his skull looks like a gremlin right now. Let's see if I can find a picture. So
he can barely talk, man. If you ever hear him talk, it's like that.
I'm laughing, but it's terrible.
No, I mean, listen, Wayne's a legend. Let's not get it twisted.
You think Wayne's a legend? Honestly,
Wayne?
yeah. No, you think he's going to go down as a legend?
I mean, yeah. I mean, listen, if we're talking about off the top, man, I mean, I don't know how many are better than Wayne. I mean,
I think during that time period, I can think of 4 rappers that may have been better than him during that time period.
I don't know, man. No Ceilings was such an unbelievable mixtape.
I think he had songs. Yeah, no.
True. I mean, I think he was brilliant by signing Drake. I think he's probably going to make more money off of Drizzy than they'd ever make off of his own stuff. But
yeah. Hopefully he didn't lose too much by signing Chanel West Coast.
Oh, man. She looks like garbage, too, lately. She looks like a effing dumpster fire.
Yeah. She got a boob job before this last season of Ridiculousness.
They put it on her face because her face needs a face job.
Yeah, dude.
She looks like she just rolled in some coconut oil. Just her face all the time. Just constantly. She sweats coconut oil. It's greasy. And holler at me, Chanel, though, if you're listening.
Oh, my God.
Hashtag Rob Beer Deck. Hashtag Dayton.
Shoot, my guy.
Hey, listen. Yeah. But no, you know, man, Wayne, his legacy, you know, it is what it is. I mean, come on. The guy lit up every song.
Yeah,
I mean, every song, that was his intro. It was like, that's my Wayne impersonation.
Did you hear this?
I'm a comedian, folks.
Did you hear this conspiracy about Justin Bieber actually being Post Malone? And they just like
I
put
know,
a
I can see
thing
it.
on his voice. Hold on,
I can actually.
I have.
I'll
play the video for everyone. That's not hip on it.
But that's not okay. I hear that, but Post is like 6'5" and Bieber is like 4'0".
Hold on, listen to this.
They're slowing it down. I have heard this, and it sounds like him. You could do that with anybody, though.
That sounds like Bieber.
Yeah, but you can speed up anybody's voice and make it. Nah, I don't buy it.
You're not buying it?
No, I don't buy it.
I think it might actually be true. Him and Bieber have been friends for a long time.
But Bieber's Canadian, so instantly.
Oh, come on.
I mean, that just kind of is null and void. As actually, he can't be fully cool because he's Canadian.
I'm just thinking, like, every artist has to have a side project. What if Bieber's side project is like, man, what if I, like, just put my vocals on a track, made it sound like a kid who chain smokes all day, and then hire a kid who chain smokes to just sing the songs?
I mean, I've seen Posty live before, so I know he can at least play the guitar. So I don't know what they're doing with the vocal tracks. If it is true, good job, Biebs. You pulled it off. You did it. But then, like, who's Bieber engaged to now?
Haley Baldwin.
Okay, so do you think that Haley prefers Justin or Posty?
She's engaged to Justin.
But if Justin and Posty are the same person, who does she fall in love with more? You know?
Probably the one who showers.
And, yep, right answer. Correct answer.
We're going to go to our resident female for the answer. Resident female, I'm going to go with the person who showers.
Ding, ding, ding. Correct answer, female. Good job. You won a showered man.
So, what's kind of been happening on the internet that has caught your eye recently?
See, man, there's so much. I try and not spend too much time on the internet, just simply because there's so much garbage to sift through. Mm-hmm. I saw that, and once again, I'm probably a decade older than both of these people, but I saw Pete Davidson and Ariana Large got engaged. But that's awesome because I love Pete Davidson.
I love Pete Davidson too. I was just about to say that. Like, for me, dude, like, total inspiration, man. He's like killing it. One of the youngest people ever on SNL.
Yeah, and he just keeps it cool, man. He stays himself. He's that New York Staten Island kid who, you know, Pops was lost in 9/11,
Mhm.
and I don't even know how they found him. He probably was just doing stand-up sets in
He said he's been doing
Gotham.
stand-up since, like, 16.
I mean, man, Colin Jost and Michael Che do a great job. I mean, those guys are, I think, pretty much in charge of SNL. They're
Mhm.
like co-head writers and stuff now. So,
The
did you know
Weeknd
that whoever is the Weekend Update anchor is usually the head writer?
I didn't know that,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And Michael Che, it's the first time they've ever had co-head writers, and Michael Che is the first black head writer that
That's
they
awesome.
have at SNL. Yeah, absolutely. And SNL, man, that's been my like. I want
The great thing about SNL is I think that you can make it on SNL at any age. Do you
Oh,
think that?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell, I think, was like 32 or 33 when he auditioned for them.
Well,
So, I mean,
I'm just saying, like, if you were 60 and went in there and killed it, like,
Yeah.
I still think that they'd take a chance with you because they need, like, older people on the show,
Mhm.
right? So it's like, I feel like SNL is like that revolving door of, like, it could really always happen.
Well, and then another funny thing about SNL, man, is they've had to kind of switch up their platform a little bit. I know Lauren runs a super type ship. I actually submitted a couple packages to them, um, just for writing, just so I could try and get my foot in the door when I
course.
lived in the city there. And it's funny because I have seen some of my sketch ideas performed on SNL before.
Really? No, let's talk about that.
Oh, well, listen, they get packages submitted all the time, and I'm not saying that it's common for them to do it, but I mean, listen, if you got some of the best comedy writers in the world just submitting ideas to you, I mean, sometimes you don't even have to do your own job, it's just like, oh, bet this is hysterical already as it is.
Mhm.
Only this person's gonna know that they wrote this sketch,
Mm.
So I mean, it wasn't like a fully plagiarized thing that
Of
I
course
saw,
not.
but it was something that I was distinctly wrote because it happened to me in my life. And here I'm like, whoa, this is really similar. This is my sketch.
Yeah.
So it was kind of flattering, and I was kind of like, well, damn, y'all couldn't have just gave me a call and offered me a job. So, but like I said, when the Lonely Island came through, Lauren was very, very, he was very in his own place about like not digitizing SNL,
Mhm.
and once they started doing those digital shorts, the Lonely Island came through and kind of disrupted what they had there. And Lauren was like, well, I can't deny this. I can't deny that like this is the future, and they also changed up the platform when it came to like a minute 30 clips. They kind of were the ones that led the way on like this is kind of the standard when it comes to like a comedy or any sort of social media clips. Though, you see now it's Instagram's what, a minute,
Mhm.
I think, which is it's cool. But yeah, they've had the SNL, and if you talk to anybody about Lauren, he's very, very not left or right on anything. It's like if it's not broke, don't fix it. But there's people who come in, like I said, also the guys like Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett. I mean, those guys are hysterical too, and they had their own. That's how they got found. Is they had a sketch comedy group out of UCB in Los Angeles, and one of the producers saw it, showed it to Lauren. He was like, "Get him out here to New York. Let's
That's
get him
crazy.
audition." Yeah. And another crazy thing, and I'll be done with SNL after this, is that initially SNL only wanted Andy Samberg out of the Lonely Island, but he said, listen, you do not get me without these two other guys, without Jorma and I can't think of what the other guy's name is. It's weird names. But yeah, Andy was like, nope. He's like, I'm not coming on SNL unless these guys are with me. So that I always thought that was pretty freaking awesome.
That is.
Like we all hear the stories about,
Friends. Yeah.
Tom Petty, classically, he had a band that had been together for like 10 years. And once they got big, they're like, we're just going to take Tom. The rest of you can kind of go home
Piss
now.
off, yeah.
Pretty much. So,
Jeez.
Yep.
Huh.
Humans.
Yeah. That's actually pretty crazy. I rewatched that Larry David episode a couple days ago. It's one of my favorite episodes of SNL, the one where he hosted this past season. And it made me realize, like, the grind on those shows is crazy.
Oh, that turnaround time, dude. I
Like-
mean, they sometimes only have 2 or 3 days with the host.
Exactly. So it's like they're writing, filming all of this in a week, and then after that they do a crazy after party for each guest.
Mhm.
So it's like if you're a talent, like your week is literally like beginning of the week, like nothing, like ideas, like that type of deal. Wednesday, you're like shooting almost all day. Thursday, shooting all day, like, getting ready. And then Saturday, you're just partying all night.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's the life.
Jeez.
I mean, I guess some people would like that. I mean, like I said, every time I hear the ending song to SNL, man, I get chills just thinking about, like, dude, I'd love to be up there so much. Just all my heroes have been up on that stage, so you're never too old to start dreaming, man.
Exactly.
Never too old. I mean, it's never too late.
Exactly. And I think the craziest thing is, like, the show's still putting out great sketches and great bits.
It's gotten a bunch of crap, man, in the past. I think since Farrell and some of those heavy hitters left, man. I know that it took a super dip, but the actual talent never took a dip at SNL.
Mhm.
It has been good, and you have to know, you have to, be in that kind of to understand that. I mean, this talent, they're still pulling the best comedians, some of the best comedians in the world.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah. It's never once, I don't think, dipped. Now, some, like I said, it doesn't have Will Ferrell. It doesn't have Bill Hader anymore. It doesn't have some of those heavy hitters, but I mean, those people are still the cream of the crop, and they know what they're doing, and they do it really, really well. I mean, Kate McKinnon, she's a once in a lifetime talent, and we're able to watch her in real time right now do unbelievable things. And so it's yeah, for anyone who's like, oh man, SNL sucks, like, no, dude, you suck. You suck for giving up.
So we're gonna roll that into our small town shout out.
Small town.
So each time we have a guest on, we have them pick out a small town, and we see who can guess closest to the population. So what's the small town you're gonna choose today?
This segment is brought to you by Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Okay, all right. What's your guess for Hershey, Pennsylvania?
208,671.
I'm gonna say 180,000. And now, since we know Jeremy is absolutely dead from going to Vegas this weekend.
Not a small town.
What?
7 people.
14,000 people.
What? Is that just at the factory, or is that the entire? Come
No,
on,
look, it says that that's the whole
Hershey.
town. Check that out.
Damn, that is a.
Have you ever been to
definition of a
Hershey,
small-
Pennsylvania?
No.
Yeah, me neither. So I guess it could be completely right.
Yeah. That's a 2010 census.
What do you think about the census being done every 10 years? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I just try and live my life.
Yeah,
Apparently, it's illegal if you don't file for that census
It
every
is.
10 years.
it is.
The government's keeping tracks on us every day through Google and all these other things. So it's like, is the census even necessary anymore? You can just literally round up all the information Google has, Google and Amazon. Because is that just a United States thing?
Hmm. I think, so I definitely think the government's always watching. I'm like one of those, I'm deep in that conspiracy hole.
Well, it's not even conspiracy any longer.
Yeah,
And NSA, Big Brother, like we're all
the
put into
Snowden
place.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, to watch the terrorists, but they actually it was pretty much a way to blanket everybody into
Mhm.
it. So
Did I tell you about the one time when we were shooting the movie? I put hey, like it was an email to the school, and I said, hey, just a reminder that we're doing the film shoot at the school on whatever. And because shoot and school were in the same email,
Ooh,
yeah,
that's a
it like
no-no.
raised a flag in their system or whatever. And yeah, I was just told to, like, whenever you're talking about that, just say, hey, we're filming at the school.
I
don't know if you've ever run into anything like that.
Well, no, but I'll tell you what I have seen is I post a photo of my friend on Facebook now, and I don't even tag them, and they know exactly who it is.
Yeah, the facial recognition, that's scary.
Bruh. What's next, man?
You know what's crazy? So on my iPhone, my Face ID, and I don't know if I said this last episode. I kind of forget, dude. A lot of people don't know me, listen to the show personally.
Mm-hmm.
I've had like a ton of concussions. I've had like 6 or 7 concussions.
Me too.
Yeah. So like literally like if you were like, oh yeah, remember what you said on last week's episode? Could probably vaguely remember it.
Mm-hmm.
But like small details like I'm about to say, like I don't know if I said this or not.
Sure.
So
disclaimer, folks. If you've
just
heard
a
this before,
disclaimer.
Close your ears for 20 seconds.
My iPhone X opened on my daughter's face the other day. Like my wife is always like, oh, Cambry looks so much like you. But like she like literally like held up the phone and it like unlocked for her.
Dude.
Isn't that weird?
Apple has your DNA. They know your seed, bro.
I know. So
yeah, that's it's gnarly. It is what it is, man. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Stop it? Like
I don't know.
It's the train's already too far down the tracks, man. You know, I used to get real like, dude, I'm not downloading Google. I'm not, you know what? I'm not even getting a Chase Bank card because, you know, F all these big corporations. But then it's just like, well, does it really stop my everyday life? Does it really like, what are they going to pick up? Like, oh, Jesse likes to eat cheeseburgers and like, what information are they gathering on me?
Jesse likes Rolling Rock and cheeseburgers. Yeah. Oh man. National security crisis.
Flags up. Send out the color guard.
What do you think about having kids one day?
Oh man, I love them. I have 3 godchildren right now.
Yeah.
And it's nice because I don't have to get up at 3:00 in the morning and change diapers and wake up to screaming kids and like be just absolutely exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, man. I would love to find, you know, the right woman for myself and definitely have kids.
The great thing is the man's parts never stop working correctly.
Right.
The seed never stops.
Yeah, no.
You can always just marry 40 years younger and start having them at 60.
There you go. But that's another thing, man. I am 32, so I feel as though I don't want to be the 60-year-old taking their grandkid or their son their son out to the baseball games, you know, and being all dusty and old and stuff. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. I promised myself though, I was like, dude, don't even entertain that until you're ready, like financially, mentally, and you know where you want to be in life before you bring somebody else into this shit show.
I think like 5% of the people that have children are financially ready.
No, absolutely, and that's just, you know, some of the socio-economical things.
I think it comes along with having the kid. It's like, oh shit, like now I got this thing
right
needs to eat.
Right.
I need to go make money, or else like.
Yeah,
it's like this kid's gonna eat no matter what. It's like whether I'm gonna eat.
Right. No. You know, man, and it's. Man, life's hard. I mean, hard for an adult. Like, imagine trying to raise a kid, and especially in today's world, man. Everything like what's up from down. What's real anymore, you know? And like, how do I teach my children what life was like before all of this came around? And you know, because I really feel as though that our generation maybe, and even like the latter part, the millennials, that's such a vague term to me any longer. Like I'm technically a millennial, but I don't categorize myself as a millennial. Like, you know, I was around before cell phones, and like, you know, I remember what it was like to actually sit at family dinner and have conversations and like sit and talk. And like, that has just been diminished now. Like who sits down and actually has family dinner any longer?
My in-laws do. They have like a no phone policy at dinner.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It should happen all the time. Like it should be, that should still be the standard. And I think that, you know, as fast as this technology and as great as this technology is, man, you know, I think that it's also done equal parts damage, you know, to society and to, because we're all it's just dumbing us down, man. Half the shit that we look at on our phones anyways are meaningless. Like we're talking about Ariana Grande and freaking Pete Davidson, like, and like these other people that are also humans, but it's like, I mean, I don't know, man. They deal with the same shit I do. Like, they get headaches and have to poop real bad sometimes, and you know, it's just, I don't know. I think everything just gets out of control, and a lot of people just need to bring it back to the heart, man. Like, concentrate on yourself a little bit more. Get off your phone and we'll stop worrying about what everybody else is doing.
Hmm.
Go do you. Try that on for a little bit, man. Go work, hard and go to the gym and work hard on yourself, or go study and work hard on your brain. Sharpen that, tool up, man. And I think a lot of people just they don't care about that stuff anymore, man. It's not important to them. What everybody else is doing is important.
Yeah. I think that's like the funny thing about me and my wife is like, I know all these little factoids and she thinks it's like the funniest thing ever.
Mhm.
Because like when I grew up, like I didn't get an allowance.
Mhm.
So like my grandma, me and her would watch Jeopardy, and for every question I got right, I got a quarter.
Oh, nice. There
Yeah.
you go. Oh, that's incentive right there,
I
man.
know, right?
Incentive to learn. If
Exactly.
school would have just paid me to learn, I'd have known everything.
So like I know all these little stupid worthless factoids now.
Yeah,
But
listen,
it's like
man.
fun in conversations. Like it's like
You go to trivia at a bar, I mean, dude, you're king.
yeah, exactly. It's like
oh, I already won this episode of Jeopardy.
yeah, it's like I took art history, like all these like random classes. Like I just think it's cool to learn about things.
Don't get me wrong, man. I wish I had Google in high school. I wish I had Google in college. I had been a way better student, But once again, I mean, I still believe that there's method to the old ways that worked, and they got results. When I say the old way, I'm just talking about more human interaction with each
Mhm.
other and learning that way instead of just having this device in front of you. Like, I went out to dinner last night, group of people my age, and there's a little lull time in between, like, first course and second course, and everyone's head is just down, like, on the phone. And there's 18, 19 of us. You mean to tell me, like, no, none of us could put our phones down or in our pockets or throw them out the door? Like,
Doesn't that just make you uncomfortable watching it though?
it does. Like, I noticed myself kind of doing it. I was like, shit, like, no, I'm putting my
Yeah.
phone up. I'm just going to stare at people. Because
Yeah.
that was really all I was going to get out of that.
My
but
wife and I don't play on our phones during dinner.
That's good, man. Like I said, it should be reserved.
Yeah.
The internet should shut off at 9 p.m.
Wow, that's a hot take.
The internet should shut off. I mean, dude, I can tell you my sleep gets hit because I just lay in bed and I scroll through my phone. Like,
Do you play video games?
I do enjoy video games. I don't have time to play video games.
Yeah. I don't think any of us have time. It's either like you make
Oh,
time or
it's kind of
yeah.
sick though, dude. I've got a friend who it's too much, man. It's too much. Just like guy, stop living in a
Playing, like,
fantasy world. And they
5-6 hours a day or what?
doesn't come out of his room, so maybe 12 hours a day. I don't know.
What?
Just gets Domino's delivery and
Oh my
Mountain
lord.
Dews.
See, like I'll hop on. So like the way that I work when it's like the nighttime, right? Like I'll have the Xbox on in the background and like I'll do some work. And then like when I just need a break, like I'll like run one game of Fortnite or one game of like Rocket League or something,
Yeah.
which is like a 5 to like
Rocket
15
League's
minute
fun.
break.
I can
Yeah.
mess with it I play with my godson every once in a while, and it's fun.
Yeah. So like I'll like play that to break up the work a little bit,
Mhm.
like almost like incentivize it. Like, oh, if I do like an hour of emails, then I can play 5 minutes of Rocket League.
Listen, don't get me wrong. Like there are some benefits to playing video games. I mean, it can help you with alertness and reactionary time and stuff like that. Like I grew up playing sports, so if I'm playing video games, I'm playing FIFA or I don't even really play Madden. Never really got into that. I mean, I love the Call of Duty franchises. Like, those are fun.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, man, I don't know. There's other things in life that I enjoy so much more than being inside and playing video games.
Hmm.
Like, if I'm doing anything, man, outside of editing or filming, or I'm studying not necessarily what other people are doing, but learning from other people, learning from just watching people do their thing. And I think that's been one thing that I've actually been really proud of myself, has been able to adapt the things that I find the best in other people and kind of apply them to myself. And yeah, I think that Everybody should do that, man. Be the best version of you, but sometimes being the best version of you is taking a slice of something else that you like that maybe you didn't know before, and you're like, oh damn, I love the way the person does that. Like I'm gonna apply that to me. You know.
Here's the question. So, did you go to school, college?
For a very very brief time, yeah.
Do you think that there's anything in this current day that you can't learn on the internet that you can learn from college?
And that's a great question. Here's my theory on that is that college is you pay for the experience. So to answer your question, I think that you can. I mean, Harvard now has online free stuff. You know, it's like, so yeah, you can find and learn anything on the internet. But what you don't get is you don't get that experience. And listen, that experience, college is not for everybody. Like those institutions, a lot of people got. You know, a lot of people got because they literally weren't designed to go to college, but they were told, they were conditioned from a certain point, like, whoa, if you want to be successful, you got to go to college.
Yeah.
You got to get out of this podunk town. You got to go and do this, and which is great, but the percentages of people who just come out of college and now they're 80,000, they're in financial turmoil before they even have a chance.
Yeah.
And what these markets are so just, you know, closed off, man, for a lot of stuff. So to answer your question, yes, you can learn anything on the internet, but I think that college is an experience. You learn, I think to me, life is learned through experience. And, you know, so yeah, I hope I answered that
No.
correctly.
No, I think you're 100% right. I just don't know. Like, the more I look at college,
It's
I
crazy,
think the more
bro.
other
It's
people
crazy.
like 17, 18 and are looking at college, right? I just don't know if they think it's worth it. If they're not going into a traditional like STEM career, like I think if you like, here's the thing that bothered me about college. So I was in like business school for a little bit, and like they made it sound like starting and running your own business was the hardest thing in the world. And for me, I've been running my own business since I was 17. I was like
I said, man, some people
like, but I knew my other classmates didn't have that experience of running their own thing since they were 17, right?
Sure.
So they just took this guy for his word.
Sure.
That like, oh, you can't do your own thing because it's big and scary.
Well, who in the world, what teacher tells someone that? Like, listen, I'd be like, yo, this is going to be extremely difficult, and a lot of you are going to fail at it, but that's cool. Like, fail fast, and fail hard, man, so that you can pick your ass up and move on and continue just to go. And dude, that's it's a mentality, man. It's something that you either have or you don't have. You either have that grit to you to know that, like, hey, I'm gonna fall 7 times, but you know what? I'm getting up 8. You know, I'm like, this world will throw so much shit at you and so rapidly, and even now that the world is smaller and it's getting only smaller because of the internet and the same platform that we're able to have this conversation on, you know. And so it's you listen to guys like Gary Vee and, you know, those motivational speakers, and that's what they tell you, man. Fail fast, like get it out of the way, and you're gonna fail. Even in your successes, you're gonna fail.
Yeah,
like it's inevitable. But the faster that you realize, the faster you can get to that, man, the better off you are.
Man, I like Gary Vee, but I got into this habit where I watched his stuff every day and my mindset was just so like off balance.
It's a lot, man. It's intense.
Like it was just like work.
Grind.
And like no family time, no personal enjoyment, no none of that. Which is like I get that for some people, but it just wasn't for me.
Well, yeah, I mean you're a family man, and Gary seems like he's a multi-millionaire bachelor.
I would much rather.
City.
Yeah, but he has 3 kids. Like
I
can't.
Does? I didn't.
Yeah,
know
no, I can't judge. I can't judge. That's what I'm saying. I can't judge anyone because I know off camera. Yeah, exactly. I know 1, it works for him. Like 2, he loves his family, right? But like. Dude, like I'd rather scrape by and just be able to enjoy enjoy the time with my family and my kid and just have a nice average life than to be like,
what's it all worth at the end of the day, man? What is it really all worth? What is this life about, you know? And I don't want to get too deep on the topic, but I've dealt with a lot of death recently, and it just that when it's constant and when you feel it around you all the time, I don't want to say you're desensitized to it, but you get it. You understand what death is and where its place is on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
And like you prioritize things, you hold your friends closer, you love deeper
Mm-hmm.
when you're aware of that. Because man, death and taxes are the only two things that are inevitable here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, once again, where are your priorities? What are you doing to be the best version of yourself?
Yeah.
And what are you doing not only for you but for the people who are around you? Because to me that's the most important. You know, all these people who are great and they have this status and clout. What are they doing for the people around them? Take a look at their crew. Take a look at the people who they keep closest to them. What are those people going to say about this person? And to me that's the impact. That's the legacy that every person should strive to have. It's like, dude, how am I keeping myself better, but making the people around me better? Because that's power.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is power.
Man.
So, it's like I said, death it's crazy, man. It lurks. It lurks, bro.
I know. It's the crazy thing is just also having dealt with death, dude. It's like, dude, it's just crazy. I like you just like think so like I think that you're right where like you love deeper. I feel like you are more honest with people too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would
There's
rather
no
just
time for bullshit, man.
I know, I feel like you'd rather just like tell them everything that you wish that you would have told them, like you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Man, one thing that I've also bought into my life is, you got these alpha males out here. It's like, don't show tears, don't show emotions.
I don't like that.
I don't buy into it, man. I think that you are less of an alpha male if you can't show your
Yeah.
emotions. And being an actor and studying that, like that is a power. That's something that we use to our advantage, because being vulnerable is actually, talk about cool. Some people would say that I'm a cool guy. I don't necessarily buy into
You're
it.
a cool guy.
But the coolest thing is being vulnerable, man. And not vulnerable to like get yourself in bad situations, but vulnerable enough to like care.
Mm-hmm.
Vulnerable enough to just be, present and like put your emotions out there, dude. Who cares if it's a group of your 10 closest dudes? Like, it's cool to break down and cry if you have to.
Of course.
Don't be a macho dude, man, because once you suppress those things, that leads to a whole slew of other problems that you deal with down the line. And it might not happen right then, man, but you can't do that to yourself. Like, it's not good, and I'm not talking about, crying and blabbing every single time something goes wrong in your life. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real life shit.
Yeah.
Where it's traumatic and you need to freaking release and you need to, be vulnerable.
Do you
and
think
let
that
people take care of you, man, when you can't take care of yourself.
Yeah. Do you think that was like, this might be getting like super into the rabbit hole, so this will probably be my last comment about this. Do you think that that's like why in the 40s and 50s, like you see so many of the guys that came out of that generation just like heavy alcoholics because they didn't feel that it was appropriate to like head of household, like money maker, wife and kids at home, like they just felt the macho man mentality.
I feel like there's I think that those generations dealt with a lot more shit than we deal with today. They had to go through wars, world wars, two of them at least, depressions, stock market rising and crashing, and they didn't have the amenities that are so easy. Even lower class income people still have access to the stuff that 2% of a nation had, 2 or 3 decades ago.
Yeah.
So I think that there was some sort of complex that went through. They had to be tough. They had to be tough as nails, man. Like I said, even the family construct was completely different. Dad was out working every day. Mom was a homemaker, staying at home, raising the kids, doing the house thing. That's completely changed.
Yeah.
So do I think that caused a lot of the problems? Perhaps. I'm sure that there were a lot of guys who grew up down the line that never once heard their dad tell them that they loved him. And I don't know what kind of effects that would have on somebody, because my pops always made sure I knew.
Yeah. That would probably not be good.
Well, yeah, man, think about what that does, dude. You're the person who you look up to the most in your life can't even muster off, I love you, son. I love you, seed. It's like, that might have some damages, man. And that can have some, effects down the road on how that person treats their child.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen that. That's a classic case. Like, that's classic. You know, my dad never loved me, so this is the way that it is. And I'm not going to, you know, my son's getting the same treatment that I got, you know. So, I don't know.
That was a deep rabbit hole. Let's get into something a little more lighthearted.
Hey,
let's move into the meme of the day presented by my wife.
Meme of the day presented by Mrs. Crawford.
Today's meme of the day is it's a painting, and it is a waiter at a table with a larger fellow, and the waiter is saying, the fat guy says,
okay,
yeah, I'll probably die alone. And the waiter says, no, I said, will you be dining alone?
Frisch's Big Boys.
For that meme and more like him, check out the Instagram at The Internet Podcast.
The Internet Podcast.
I feel like we've talked about a lot of music stuff this episode, but I feel like we talked about SNL, we talked about some actual real life stuff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Nicki Minaj and this Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner beef right now.
Okay, first of all, I saw her at the VMAs last night. She was wearing, one of my favorite designers is Virgil Abloh, Off-White. She did look stunning in that outfit.
Who,
but
Kylie or
no, Nicki?
Nicki. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I just saw a photo of Nicki. You were filling me in a little bit about that yesterday, and it just seems like a who's wee wee's bigger match. Between a male and a female, so it's. But
so the thing, so here's the thing, right? Travis Scott released Astro World 2 weeks ago. It debuted at number 1 last week and kept its spot at number 1 in the U.S. charts this week because he released merchandise. And with every purchase of merchandise, it came with a digital download of the album, which counts as a sale of the album. With Nicki, she released her album this week, but with purchasing a ticket for her tour, you got a digital download of the album. This is how artists are, really getting album sales, since it's 150 streams to get one purchase of a song.
Oh,
now.
Is that how it works these days? Okay.
Yes.
Chance broke that.
Yeah. So Travis Scott was number 1 again this week. So Nicki Minaj's album debuted at number 2. She's never had an album debut at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just in her feelings about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Travis Scott using Kylie Jenner to exploit his album and merchandise and yada, 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 this,
Sounds
and
like
that.
Nicki's just salty.
That's what a lot of people were saying. She's pushing 40. She has no kids. She's not married. She's had a ton of relationships fall apart. She's really banking on this music thing. She's never had a number 1 album.
But what is that? Like,
I don't know if that's
is that just an ego thing? Like, is that an ego stroke? Like,
so her album went number 1 in 80 countries. Granted, probably the 80 countries where you have to sell like 100 albums to go number 1.
Sure.
Right? But still, it's just like she had the number 2 album. Do you know how many people would kill to have the number 2 album?
Like I said, man, you get up in this upper echelon of entertainers, and they're whack, man. They're not. They don't understand reality, like real reality. Like, they just live in their own world where people tell them yes every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I guess part of me understands why she works hard.
She compared herself to Harriet Tubman too. I don't know if you heard that part.
I don't know enough about that to comment, but it probably
she probably
pissed some people off.
Oh, Harriet Tubman was trending yesterday. That's how many people she pissed off.
So wait, well, I don't know what's worse, that she was trending because people didn't know who Harriet Tubman was, or because Nicki's got a wide butt.
So I think essentially what she said is a lot of people would still be eating rice and beans if it wasn't for Harriet Tubman. And she's the Harriet Tubman of female rap. I think that's what she said.
Wait, like, so if rice and beans, like the Spaniards were coming and taking...
I have no idea what she meant by that.
Because rice and beans isn't even really a standard American dish.
I think she was talking about during slavery with, like, Harriet Tubman. How Harriet Tubman not, like...
That's just... What?
Yeah, so...
Shut up, Nicki. Just write songs.
So...
You know, and like I listen, everyone has the right to say whatever they want to, apparently. That's what the amendment number 1's all about. But some people shouldn't. Just don't say that, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Okay, she said, all the queens remember, I shook shit up. Queen of the week may go to Harriet Tubman. Had she just sat there and ate her rice, you N-words, history would have been a lot less triumphant. And then, so I don't know.
Hashtag me too.
So a lot of people did not like that because, she's saying that she's...
So now, once again, then what's the ultimate goal here? Is now are you just talking to get your people to recognize you and maybe go listen to your album? Like, I see that's like my whole thing. Is this like a publicity stunt? Like,
she's just saying that she's shaking up the tree, just like Harriet Tubman did, which a lot of people strongly disagree that she, with her...
You can't even put those two names in the same
garbage
sentence.
music, yeah.
Yeah. Once again, these some of these superstars are just whacked out of their skull, man. It's been yes too many times for them, and they just... And it's like I was talking about these Instagram like booty stars, man. It's like, yo, if you didn't have a fat ass, like no one would be looking at your Instagram page. You know, it's like,
yep.
Are you even a real human being? Like, what does your life consist of outside of just the frames of Instagram? Like,
I don't want to get into that because I know too many of them probably just, it's like, not happiness is the answer.
Yeah, man.
What can you say?
I don't know. Not much. I'm at a loss for words, and that doesn't happen often. But no, man. Like I said, go outside today.
Yeah.
Do something cool. Be in nature, man. Realize how dope that shit is.
Yeah.
That's real. That is some real stuff that's been here for a long time, and it will be here probably. Hopefully, if we don't continue to destroy it and F it all up, it'll be here long after we're gone, So,
yeah.
And there's something about that, man. It just lines you up real good, man. You're so small and insignificant in the scheme of things. Think about how many people have died before you.
Mm-hmm. Billions.
That's what I'm saying. Their lives were significant, right? Their lives meant something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, we're just freaking on a rock in the middle of freaking space that life is what you make it, man. Home where you make it.
Wrapping it all up, I've been starting to ask people one question just to end it on their answer. If you could do it all over again, what would you change?
I would have played high school football. And just because I don't know, I played soccer growing up and that was great, but man, I would have been a monster at football.
That was a really quick answer.
Yeah.
You've been thinking about that a lot?
Yeah, I've thought about that often. Like, man, if there's one thing I could have done different, it probably would have been played high school football. Because God, I'd love to put the scarlet and gray on, baby. Oh, I can't wait for that to start here in the next couple of weeks too.
I know. Football season's pretty great. As a soccer fan, I like football season because I don't know if I'm going to like it this year, though. There's no big hits allowed anymore.
I don't care about the NFL. Like, I really don't care about the NFL. To me, those cats, they obviously love what they do, but I don't know. There's passion and pride in college football. It's just unparalleled, and I mean, I'm a Browns fan. I know we're in Cincinnati.
Browns are going to do good this season.
Dude, we're gonna win just like the Bengals were winning the Super Bowl, bro.
Just like the Bengals.
Oh, I love it. I love living like 45 minutes north of here and just completely agging on all my Bengals friends. Because that's what it is, man. The beginning of the year, preseason, y'all are going to win the Super Bowl.
Every year for the past 10 years.
You guys are going to win the Super Bowl.
We had Carson Palmer. We had Chad Ochocinco.
What for the record, what happens, though, every single season?
We go 8-8, and Marvin Lewis gets an extension on his contract.
Ow! At least we're ruining careers up in Cleveland.
Yeah. We haven't fired the dude in 12, 15 years.
Listen, man.
Mike Brown's sitting on his nice comfy chair saying, well,
that's your problem. Right there. That's the problem with your organization. And I hate that he even has the same name as his daddy. Like, because his father changed football for the better, and Mike Brown is just taking what could have been a great organization and just
driving it in the ground.
Yeah, just making terrible decisions. And he looks like Tweety Bird. Has anyone ever pointed that out.
Anyone ever memed that? That might be the meme of the next week, presented by Jesse Lee Brown, a side-by-side
You
of...
heard it here first, folks.
Wait, are you any relation between you and Mike Brown?
I doubt it. But that'd be cool because I'd be like, what's up, Unk?
What's up, Tweety Bear? What's up, Tweety Bear?
What up there, Tweety Unk? But yeah, man, football season's on its way. Actually, football season, Hunter S. Thompson's suicide note was entitled "Football Season's Over." I don't know if you've ever read that, but it's pretty, for a suicide note, it's pretty...
I've never read
poignant.
that. You read suicide notes?
Well, no, it's just very,
okay.
very, it's just very well.
I was about to
Hunter
say.
S. Thompson is one of my favorite journalists, so, like, what he did for culture was pretty awesome.
Huh.
And I feel like not enough people know about what he did, which was a ton of drugs. But he also wrote about some unbelievable real life things, and yeah.
We'll check it out.
Yeah.
Well, until next time, I think the next episode's going to be Afro Man.
Cold 45 and 2 zigzags.
I know. We shot that episode last week.
Baby,
Jeremy's still editing it because there was a lot of filler space. But other than that, I think that it went.
What do you
really
mean
fun.
filler space? Like you guys are smoking blunts in between?
No. I don't really mess with that. But he was, taking his time with answers and stuff like that, which is totally cool. We just need to, for listening purposes, there can't be 2-minute periods of
dead
nothing.
silence.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think that might be the next one. And until next time, make sure you subscribe to the podcast.
Yes.
Also, if you enjoy it, leave a review. I know a lot of people are subscribed that haven't left reviews yet. That just helps us out in the iTunes algorithm thingy.
Get them thumbs nice and hot and hit that subscribe button.
And people can find you on social at Jesse Lee Brown, right?
Yeah, that's my Instagram. Facebook should be the same. I don't twit. So yeah, might find me there. I might have a profile up there.
Cool.
But yeah, Jesse Lee Brown. That's me.
All right. Until next time.
Thank you for being my friend, man. I love you.
I love you too, dog. Until next time, make sure that you drink the milk straight out of a cow's tit.
That's right. And internet should be turned off by 9 p.m.